But I crashed because I couldn't take the stress. I was doing too many things. When you are recovering or recovered, you must be able to manage your stress and handle your timetable properly. You cannot overdo it because what is the killer is stress. Whenever stress comes in, you go back into the illness. And then this year, in March, I had a reading, and that's when a reading means you have an audience and you read your book to them and you meet other writers. So it was very motivating. But I couldn't do the talk that day because of my anxiety, and I didn't want to stress myself. So sometimes I do give talks, sometimes my mom is the one that gives talks. And now, last year, I opened up a company called Vishal Mind Creation. Now, this company was supposed to be helping mentally ill. That was my first aim, was to use henna as therapy to develop concentration skills and using beauty to enhance themselves and feel beauty in the outside. So it will motivate them. And then I decided to do makeup instead, but I couldn't handle the customers, so I decided to go back into henna, and I did my first event for an NGO for elderly people, and then I also did henna for my cousin's wedding. Now, why is it important to have a stress-free life? First of all, because if you don't have a stress-free life, it can lead to many illnesses. And it's important to eat healthy food, drink water, exercise, because it brings endorphins, happy emotions. Handling crisis. Now, what do you do when you have a crisis? The first thing, instead of looking at the problem, you try to find a solution. And then you also have to use positive reinforcement when somebody says something negative. You got to learn to deal with emotions, and you cannot let other people affect you. You must also understand that if they affect you, they have won. The moment you get angry, they have won, because they have made you angry. If you are calm, then you become a better person. Listening to motivational talks is also good because it can motivate you when you are down or when you are upset. Now, it's important to have a timetable because you must be organized on how you are going to live. When you're going to shower, when you're going to study, when you're going to socialize, and when you're going to do your exercise. Because if you don't have a routine, then a lot of things can go wrong. It's important to have a social life. If you keep studying and studying, it can cause a lot of stress, and that's when psychosis happen. If you have depression for more than 4 weeks, then you are in big trouble. You should go seek help, either alternatives or medically. And another thing is, if you don't have a social life, then you become less able to communicate with other people. If you're always on the computer, on the Facebook, it's not very healthy. You need to go out there and mix with people, learn to play, build relationships, understand when somebody gets angry with you, what do you do? If you don't have this kind of ability to communicate with other people, you're not going to be very successful. Because in corporate life, you have to work as a team. And when you do group work, you have to work as a team. If you don't know how to do that, then you'll be an introvert instead of an extrovert. Now, my purpose for 2020 is to stop the stigma. Now, there's two types of stigma. One is people being in denial. The other is people calling you crazy. And so I want to remove that stigma and have more empathy to the mentally ill and to have a better health policy and more rehab centers instead of homes. I want to abolish the home, because if you have somebody that is mentally ill, as a family, it's your responsibility to take care of that person. You don't just dump the person. Just imagine if somebody has cancer. Would you abandon the person? It's an illness. So they must understand that they're not doing it on purpose. And so a lot of people blame the mentally ill, but not understanding that it's not them, it's the voices. Sometimes you can have controlling voices where they tell you to do things and you are not in control. And another thing is assisted living. Now in UK they have such thing as assisted living, that is having 4 mentally ill in one house, in an apartment, living independently, but a doctor comes and checks on them. They have a maid once in a week to clean, and they can go by themselves to work, school. So assisted living should be something that we want to achieve. And they have special like stoves where you can just press one button and it will light up, things like that. Thank you.